I come to a very peculiar phenomena, that is regarding the international boundary. Jammu and Kashmir has approximately 3,175 kilometers of international boundary, the largest that any state has in India. The closest to it is West Bengal with approximately 2,000 kilometers of international boundary. More importantly, the boundary is with our true adversaries, Pakistan on the west and north, and China in the east. I will cover this in more details in phase 2. Suffice to say, we have 4 kinds of international borders with which the governments have to grapple. One is international boundary. Second is line of control with Pakistan. Third is the actual ground position line at Siachen. And fourth, LAC with China. The boundary with Pakistan, whether international boundary or line of control, it has been fenced in most of the places and lit at night. Coming next is the economy. Jammu and Kashmir has phenomenal potential for tourists, horticulture, and craftware. However, this has not been utilized optimally. State of economy otherwise is not very good because the state government depends upon doles from the central government to pay the salaries of the staff. Let's consider tourism. With such a rich tapestry of landscape, tourists flock to state of Jammu and Kashmir, whether it is summers or winter. In summers, you go to a hill station. In winters, you go for winter sports. Gulmarg has some of the best ski slopes in the world today. In addition, religious tourism is very popular with the Indians, both belonging to Hindu faith. Vaishno Devi in Jammu area and Amarnath in the Kashmir valley draws phenomenal amount of crowd every year. In fact, any insurgent activity hits directly the local taxi drivers, shikara drivers, and the others people who are on the subsistence level. The next is horticulture, flora and fauna. It's a very ideal place to grow fruits of wide variety, apples, walnuts, and what have you. Kashmir supplies phenomenal on the apple throughout the country. Its dry fruits is also exported abroad. It has a good potential for growth, and the government machinery is possibly trying to set things up. Third is the handicraft. Kashmir artware, silk, woolens, and name what you, is popular across the board. You will find many of these people working and selling their wear in the metropolis of Delhi, Bombay, and Bengaluru, whether it's carpets, which are actually a great kind of a intricate work these people excel into, or the woolen wear and shawls. Next is the special status. By the way Jammu and Kashmir joined India with the signing of Treaty of Accession in 1947 by Maharaja Hari Singh, there are special dispensations given to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Article 370, Article 35A are in the news with the central government and the environment. Another stipulation is any laws passed in the country by the Lok Sabha does not automatically get implemented in the state of J&K. The state has to ratify it before it can get implemented. The GST bill last year, fortunately, the state government was in sync with the central government. After the bill was passed, it was approved by the J&K government and then legislated, and therefore GST is applicable to the state of J&K. With such rich endowment, life is not very peaceful, especially in the Kashmir Valley. It's been on for a large period of time. However, it is business as usual in the other two regions of Jammu and Ladakh. Present situation. Today, the writ of the central government and the state government does not run well in the Kashmir Valley. There is massive deployment, or there has been massive deployment of army along the LOC and AGPL. Civil police organizations support the state government in running administration, and there is a massive deployment. Financially, the state needs support from the union government. Insurgency, or I'll call it asymmetric war, has been rampant since 1989 due to alleged rigging of elections during 1987. Foreign militants continue to come in, though in much lesser number. Homegrown militants have become active. Militants are targeting the families of police people. Some SPOs have also been shot. Elections to the assembly have been taking place regularly. However, today there is the president's rule. Election to panchayats have been announced and held in major portion. Surprisingly, only 2% or 3% people in the valley have participated. The last phase is planned to be held on 16th and results thereafter. So there is an absence of polity as whom to speak to. Coming on to way ahead. Situation in Jammu and Kashmir is complex. It's a legacy issue which involves geography, history, people, and politics. At this point of time, we just got to invest, wait, and watch. Maybe, like the Berlin Wall, it gets cleared in future. Coming to external factors, how they have influenced environment in the region and Jammu and Kashmir in particular. It all started in the 19th century with the great game theory, when the Russians were apprehensive of the British. They wanted to extend their influence in the Central Asian region and Southern and West Asia. Britishers were conscious of this fact and did not want the jewel in the crown to come under the Russian influence. Little later, the desolate areas in the Himalayas did not find much favor or attention with the British. And they came with the theory of border zone, be it Arunachal Pradesh, be it the Ladakh portion of J&K. International boundaries were not clearly demarcated. And we felt its effects after independence. Next, I shall cover the geostrategic security and economic environment around this area with special reference to Jammu and Kashmir post-independence. By 1950, China annexed Tibet. A year or two prior, after the first Kashmir war, Jammu and Kashmir got literally divided between India and Pakistan, with Pak-occupied Kashmir and northern areas, now Gilgit-Baltistan, going over to Pakistan. By 1962, China had captured Siachen. In 1971, Bangladesh was born in the Indian subcontinent. Some other events alongside. Cold War was over after the fall of Berlin Wall in 1989. USSR broke up in 1991 and 5 new Muslim republics were formed in a close vicinity: Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, all Muslim majority states. Westward, Afghanistan remained a troubled region. The Russians threw out the monarchy to spread communism. After the breakup of USSR, they could not sustain this area. Americans moved in. They had serious issues with militancy of Muslim insurgency, and they stuck. Despite repeated elections, Afghanistan is not peaceful. Further west, in close proximity, Raza Shah Pahlavi, the Iran king, was deposed, and hardliner Shia Muslim clerics gained power. In neighboring Iraq, Saddam was thrown out and the area has remained unstable. In the Middle East region, availability of abundant oil and huge increase in rates from 1972 onwards ensured large number of people from South Asia visited for work there. They got exposed to various things, including rabid Wahhabism. Even today, there is a civil war on in Yemen, and rich Qatar has problems with the Saudi Arabia. This is the kind of backdrop of international environment that we have seen. A few other factors in the recent past. First is the China's growth economically and militarily. This growth has been pretty fast and it is challenging the unipolar world. In fact, trade wars have already started between China and US, shaking up the entire earth. More importantly, China's adventure in the Indo-Pacific makes the area little unstable and uncertain as it goes about challenging the dominance of America. To finance its energy requirement, China developed all-weather friendship with Pakistan. It's a very close cooperation both economically and militarily. Predominantly for energy requirement, it has developed Gwadar port and created line of communication extending from Xinjiang and Tibet to Gwadar in Balochistan through the dizzy heights of Gilgit, Baltistan and Pakhtunkhwa and the country of Pakistan. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, as it is called, is a huge $33 billion project commenced in 2003. Encompasses building Gwadar port, highways, railway lines through north-south of Pakistan and huge energy investment in Gilgit-Baltistan and other states. Cause for our concern has been area under Kashmir dispute has been ceded by Pakistan to China for work, which is against all norms of international agreement. The rise of Muslim fundamentalism is another area which is cause of concern and it's purely external driven. As we talked about instability in Afghanistan and other regions of the Middle East, flushed with money, Muslim insurgency has gained ground in this region. India is badly affected. It is financed and aided by Pakistan through external agency. Even China in Xinjiang has this problem. Afghanistan is continuing to battle this. Not surprisingly, even Pakistan had to face this insurgency in its own soils, of which, interestingly, it was the creator. So this is one issue which is plaguing us and continue to plague us till such time the tap is pulled off.